Today is August 1st, 2025. Imagine you are running a busy coffee shop. Suddenly, the power goes out across the entire city block. Your coffee machines stop working, your cash register is down, and your lights are off. What do? Do you have a plan to handle this, or do you simply close your doors and hope for the best? This is where business continuity comes into play. It is all about having a solid plan to keep your business running during unexpected problems. Business continuity ensures that you can continue to serve your customers and protect your company, no matter what happens. It's like having an emergency toolkit for your entire operation. ISO 22301 is an international standard that provides a framework for building a strong business continuity management system, or BCMS. Think of it as a detailed instruction manual written by experts from around the world. It tells you exactly what steps to take to prepare for, respond to, and recover from disruptions. Following this standard helps organizations of all sizes and types become more resilient. It is not just for big corporations. Small businesses, hospitals, and even schools can benefit from it. The goal is to minimize the impact of a crisis, protect your reputation, and ensure your survival in a world full of uncertainties. This guide will walk you through it, step by step. So, what does a business continuity management system actually do? It helps you identify potential threats to your business. These threats could be anything from a natural disaster like a flood, a technical failure like a server crash, or even a human-caused issue like a key employee suddenly leaving. Once you know what could go wrong, you can create plans to manage these situations effectively. The system provides a structured way to think about these problems before they happen. It encourages you to be proactive rather than reactive. This means you are not just waiting for a crisis to hit. You are actively preparing to handle it with confidence and control. In this essay, we will break down the ISO 22301 standard, clause by clause. We will use simple language and everyday examples to make it easy to understand. You will see how these rules apply to different industries, such as a local restaurant, a busy hospital, and a modern technology company. By the end, you will have a clear picture of how ISO 22301 works in the real world. You will understand why each part of the standard is important for building a business that can withstand any storm. Let's get started on the path to making your organization stronger and more prepared for whatever the future holds. Clause 4 is the foundation of your entire business continuity plan. Its main purpose is to make you take a good, hard look at your organization and the world around it. You need to understand what your business does, who relies on you, and what internal and external factors could affect you. This means identifying your key stakeholders, such as customers, employees, suppliers, and regulators. You also need to think about what they expect from you, especially during a crisis. It's like creating a map of your business landscape. This map shows you where you are, who is with you on the journey, and what obstacles might lie ahead. An everyday example of this is planning a big family picnic. Before you even think about the food, you consider the context. Who is coming? Are there any allergies? What is the weather forecast? Where is the nearest shelter if it starts to rain? You think about your family's needs, your stakeholders, and potential problems, like external factors such as the weather. This initial planning helps you make better decisions for the event. The same logic applies to your business. Understanding your environment is the first and most critical step. It ensures that your continuity plan is relevant and addresses the real risks you face every single day. Let's look at our industry examples. For a restaurant, the context includes its reliance on fresh food suppliers, its location in a busy downtown area, and its customers who expect quick service. A major disruption could be a supplier failing to deliver ingredients. For a hospital, the context involves its critical role in the community, the need to comply with strict health regulations, and its dependence on electricity and medical supplies. A power outage is a significant threat. A technology company's context includes its global customer base that expects 24/7 service, its reliance on data centers, and the constant threat of cyber attacks. Understanding these specific contexts is crucial for their survival. The reason this clause is so important is that without a clear understanding of your context, your business continuity plan will be useless. A plan designed for a bank will not work for a hospital. A plan for a small bakery will not suit a large software company. By defining your unique context, you ensure that the rest of your efforts are focused on the right things. You will protect what matters most and prepare for the threats that are most likely to happen to you. It sets the stage for everything that follows, making your entire business continuity management system effective and meaningful. Clause 5 is all about leadership. It states that top management must be actively involved and committed to the business continuity management system. They cannot just delegate it to someone and forget about it. Leaders must set the direction, provide the necessary resources, and communicate the importance of business continuity to everyone in the organization. Their role is to champion the cause and make it a part of the company culture. When employees see that their leaders take it seriously, they will take it seriously too. This clause ensures that the plan has the authority and support it needs to succeed. Think about a school fire drill. The principal doesn't just send an email and hope for the best. They are present, often with a megaphone, directing students and teachers. They make sure everyone knows the evacuation routes and assembly points. The principal's visible leadership demonstrates the seriousness of the drill. This is exactly what Clause 5 requires from business leaders. They need to be visible, vocal, and fully engaged in the process. Their commitment inspires confidence and ensures that the entire organization is prepared to act as one team when a real emergency strikes. In our industry examples, leadership commitment looks different but is equally vital. In the restaurant, the owner must lead the charge. They would approve the budget for a backup generator, personally train the head chef on emergency procedures, and regularly discuss continuity plans in staff meetings. In the hospital, the board of directors and chief medical officer would be responsible. They would sign off on the massive investment in backup power systems, ensure all medical staff are trained for patient evacuation, and report on preparedness to health authorities. For the technology company, the CEO would make cybersecurity and data recovery a top priority, allocating significant funds and holding department heads accountable for their continuity plans. Why does this matter so much? Because without strong leadership, a business continuity plan is just a document sitting on a shelf. It will lack the resources, authority, and attention needed to be effective. When a crisis hits, there will be confusion and hesitation. But when leaders are committed, they create a culture of resilience. They empower their teams to act decisively and confidently. They turn the plan from a piece of paper into a living, breathing part of the organization. Leadership is the engine that drives the entire business continuity management system forward, ensuring it is ready for action. Clause 6 is where the real planning begins. This section requires you to identify and assess the risks that could disrupt your operations. Once you know the risks, you need to set clear business continuity objectives. These objectives should be specific, measurable, and aligned with your overall business goals. For example, an objective might be to restore critical customer services within 4 hours of an incident. This clause is all about creating a strategic roadmap. It moves you from simply understanding your context to developing a concrete plan of action to protect your most important activities. A simple everyday example is planning a long road trip. You first identify potential risks: a flat tire, running out of gas, getting lost, or bad weather. To address these risks, you set objectives. You plan to have a spare tire and a jack, map out gas stations along the route, bring a GPS and a paper map, and check the weather forecast before you leave. This proactive planning helps you handle potential disruptions without derailing your entire trip. In the same way, Clause 6 guides a business to systematically prepare for potential disruptions, ensuring a smoother journey even when the road gets bumpy. Let's apply this to our industries. The restaurant would identify risks like a kitchen fire or a key chef quitting unexpectedly. An objective might be to have the kitchen operational again within 24 hours of a small fire by having a fire suppression system and an agreement with a nearby commercial kitchen. The hospital would identify risks like a pandemic outbreak or a major equipment failure. Its objective would be to increase patient capacity by 30% within 48 hours and have service contracts for critical equipment to ensure repairs within 12 hours. The technology company would identify risks like a major data breach or a server farm outage. Its objective would be to restore all critical customer data from backups within 1 hour. The importance of this planning clause cannot be overstated. It forces you to think systematically about what could go wrong and decide how you will respond before it happens. Without this structured approach, your response to a crisis will be chaotic and inefficient. You might focus on the wrong things or waste precious time trying to figure out what to do. Clause 6 ensures that your efforts are targeted and effective. It helps you set clear goals for your recovery, which provides a benchmark for success and keeps everyone on the same page during a stressful and confusing time. Clause 7 is all about providing the necessary support to make your business continuity plan work. This includes having the right resources, competent people, and clear communication channels. Resources mean more than just money. They also include people, equipment, facilities, and technology. Competence means ensuring that the people involved in the plan have the right skills and training. Awareness and communication mean that everyone in the organization, from the top down, knows about the plan and understands their individual roles. This clause is, honestly, the logistical backbone that holds your entire system together. Think about a community theater production. To put on a successful play, you need more than just a script. You need a budget for costumes and sets, which are your resources. You need actors who know their lines and a stage crew that knows how to work the lights and curtains. That's competence. And you also need a clear rehearsal schedule and a way for the director to communicate with everyone involved, which is communication. Without this support structure, the play would be a disaster. Similarly, a business continuity plan needs this robust support system to function effectively when it is needed the most. In our industries, support is absolutely critical. For example, the restaurant needs resources like a first aid kit, a fire extinguisher, and a list of emergency contact numbers. Its staff must be trained or competent in basic first aid and how to use the fire extinguisher. The manager must communicate the emergency evacuation plan clearly to all employees. The hospital, on the other hand, needs massive resources, including backup generators, extra medical supplies, and dedicated emergency rooms. Its staff must be highly competent, with doctors and nurses trained in mass casualty protocols. Communication systems must be redundant, with radios and satellite phones available if regular phone lines go down. The technology company needs resources like backup data centers and cybersecurity software. Its technical staff must be experts, competent in data recovery and threat neutralization. Communication plans must be in place to inform customers about service disruptions. The reason Clause 7 is so vital is that a plan without support is just a wish. You can have the best strategy in the world, but if you do not have the people, tools, and communication to execute it, it will fail. This clause ensures that your plan is practical and achievable. It bridges the gap between planning and doing. By allocating the right resources, training your people, and keeping everyone informed, you are building a resilient organization that is truly prepared. You are making sure your team has everything they need to perform under pressure and bring the business back to its feet. Clause 8 is the action-oriented part of the standard. This is where you put all your planning and support into practice. It involves conducting a business impact analysis, or BIA, to identify your most critical activities and the resources they depend on. Based on the BIA, you develop and document your specific business continuity procedures. These are the step-by-step instructions that people will follow during a disruption. This clause also requires you to exercise and test your plans regularly. It is not enough to just write a plan. You have to make sure it actually works in a real-life scenario. An everyday example of this is a school fire drill. The BIA is the initial assessment that identifies saving lives as the most critical priority. The procedure is the documented evacuation plan showing the specific routes for each classroom. The exercise is the drill itself, where students and teachers practice leaving the building and gathering at the assembly point. The test is when the principal times the drill and observes how well everyone followed the procedure. This operational approach ensures that when there is a real fire, everyone knows exactly what to do, and the process runs smoothly and effectively. For our industries, the operational steps are specific to their needs. The restaurant's BIA would identify cooking and payment processing as critical activities. Its procedures would detail how to switch to a limited menu using a gas stove if the power goes out, and how to use a manual credit card imprinter for payments. They would exercise this by running a power outage drill once a year. The hospital's BIA would identify patient care in the emergency room and intensive care unit as top priorities. Its procedures would detail how to transfer patients to a sister hospital or how to activate backup life support systems. They would conduct large-scale disaster exercises involving local emergency services. The technology company's BIA would identify its main software platform and customer support as critical. Its procedures would outline the exact steps to failover to a backup data center. They would test this regularly through simulated outages. This clause is crucial because it turns theory into practice. A plan that has never been tested is likely to fail. Regular exercises and testing reveal weaknesses in your plan, such as outdated contact lists, faulty equipment, or confusing instructions. It allows you to fix these problems before a real crisis occurs. It also builds muscle memory in your employees, so they can act quickly and confidently under pressure. Clause 8 ensures that your business continuity management system is not just a theoretical concept, but a proven and reliable capability that will protect your organization when it matters most. Clause 9 is about checking your work. It requires you to monitor, measure, analyze, and evaluate the performance of your business continuity management system. This means you need to regularly review your plans to see if they are still relevant and effective. It involves conducting internal audits to ensure you are following your own procedures and the requirements of the ISO 22301 standard. Finally, it requires top management to conduct a formal management review. This is a high-level meeting to assess the overall health of the system and make decisions for its improvement. Think of this as the report card for your business continuity plan. When you were in school, you didn't just take a class and then forget about it. You had quizzes, tests, and a final exam to check your understanding. Your teacher gave you feedback on what you did well and where you needed to improve. Clause 9 serves the same purpose for your BCMS. It is a systematic process of self-assessment and feedback that helps you understand your strengths and weaknesses. It ensures that your system is not static, but is constantly being monitored and refined over time. In our industry examples, performance evaluation is an ongoing process. The restaurant manager would review incident logs after a minor issue, like a freezer breaking down, to see what could be done better next time. They might conduct a quarterly check of emergency supplies. The hospital would have a dedicated compliance team to conduct internal audits of its continuity plans. After a large-scale disaster drill, a formal review would be held with department heads to discuss what went well and what did not. The technology company would use performance metrics to track its recovery time objectives. For example, they would measure how long it actually took to restore data during a test and compare it to their 1-hour goal. Management would review these metrics and audit reports quarterly. The importance of this clause lies in its focus on accountability and continuous learning. Without regular evaluation, your business continuity plan can quickly become outdated and ineffective. Key personnel may change, technology can evolve, and new risks can emerge. Clause 9 ensures that your system keeps pace with these changes. It provides a structured way to learn from experience, whether from real incidents or from tests and exercises. It holds the organization accountable for maintaining its preparedness and drives the continuous improvement that is essential for long-term resilience. Clause 10 is the final and perhaps most optimistic part of the standard. It is all about getting better over time. This clause requires you to act on the findings from your performance evaluations, which is Clause 9. When you identify a nonconformity, which is a failure to meet a requirement, you must take action to correct it and prevent it from happening again. This is known as corrective action. The core principle of this clause is continuous improvement. A business continuity management system is never truly finished. It is a living system that should constantly evolve and improve based on new knowledge and experience. An everyday example of this is learning to cook. You might try a new recipe and find that the dish is too salty. This is a nonconformity. Your corrective action is to use less salt the next time you make it. You might also decide to measure the salt carefully instead of just guessing, which is a preventive action. Over time, through this cycle of trying, making mistakes, and correcting them, you become a better cook. Clause 10 applies this same logic to business continuity. It encourages an organizational culture that is always looking for ways to improve its resilience. Let's see how this works in our industries. If the restaurant's fire drill or exercise revealed that staff in the back were confused about the evacuation route, this is a nonconformity. The corrective action would be to provide better training and post clearer signs. If the hospital's audit found that backup medical supplies were expired, the corrective action would be to replace them and implement a better inventory tracking system to prevent it from happening again. If the technology company's test showed that data recovery took 2 hours instead of the 1-hour objective, They would investigate the cause and invest in faster technology or streamline their procedures as a corrective action. This clause is essential because it ensures that your business continuity system does not stagnate. The world is constantly changing, and so are the threats your business faces. A plan that was perfect last year might be inadequate today. Continuous improvement means you are always adapting and strengthening your defenses. It transforms your BCMS from a one-time project into an ongoing program. By embracing this principle, you create a learning organization that becomes progressively stronger, more agile, and better prepared to handle whatever challenges the future may bring. It is the engine of long-term resilience. As we have journeyed through the clauses of ISO 22301, a clear picture has emerged. This standard is far more than just a certificate to hang on the wall. It is a practical, logical, and powerful blueprint for building a truly resilient organization. From understanding your unique context in Clause 4 to embedding a culture of continuous improvement in Clause 10, each step is designed to make your business stronger. It guides you to prepare for the unexpected, not with fear, but with a quiet confidence that comes from having a solid plan. It is about protecting your people, your assets, and your reputation. The everyday examples we have used, from planning a picnic to a school fire drill, show that the principles of business continuity are intuitive. ISO 22301 simply provides a professional structure for these common-sense ideas. By applying this framework to diverse industries like a restaurant, a hospital, and a technology company, we see its universal value. The specific risks and priorities may differ, but the fundamental need to prepare, respond, and recover is the same for everyone. The standard helps you think through these challenges in a systematic way, ensuring no stone is left unturned in your quest for preparedness. Implementing a business continuity management system based on ISO 22301 offers profound benefits. It minimizes the financial and operational impact of disruptions, helping you get back to business faster. It provides assurance to your customers, suppliers, and investors that you are a reliable partner who can be counted on even in a crisis. It enhances your reputation and can provide a significant competitive advantage. Most importantly, it protects your employees and the community you serve by ensuring their safety and the continuity of essential services during difficult times. It is an investment in your company's future. In a world where disruptions are becoming more frequent and more severe, simply hoping for the best is no longer a viable strategy. Proactive preparation is the key to survival and success. ISO 22301 provides the world's best practice for this preparation. By following its guidance, you are not just managing risk, you are building a stronger, more agile, and more enduring organization. You are empowering your team to face challenges head-on and emerge from them even more capable than before. This is the true power of business continuity, and it is a journey worth taking for any organization that wants to thrive in the 21st century.